Enlightenment is not the switching on of a button and you're enlightened. It's a journey. It's a journey, it takes time.
That brings me to a question that, Ravi, have you achieved what you wanted to achieve through spiritualism, or still there's something to be achieved?
You see, most people usually feel that the Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree and he got enlightened. It doesn't happen like that. Enlightenment is not the switching on of a button and you're enlightened. It's a journey. It's a journey, it takes time. Because, like we say in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the Guruji says, Ik noor to sab jag upjaya, kon bhale kon mande. The source of existence is the light of consciousness. And unfortunately, again, there are misconceptions galore about spirituality. The moment you speak of light, they think it is this light, this physical light. It is not this physical light. It is the light of consciousness. It is conscious and it is blissful and it is potent. That is why we call it Sat Chit Anand. So it is that light of consciousness. Everything emerges out of the light of consciousness. But when everything emerges out of that light of consciousness, it first gets formed in the form of the Shabad, the word. That is why he says,
Guru's words.
in Japji Sahib, he begins, Ikomkar Satnam.
Right.
The only true name that reality has is Omkar, Ik Omkar. The only one and only one name that truth has. Depending on your cultural affiliation, you may call him Shiva, you may call him Vishnu, you may call him God the Father, God the Holy Ghost, Jehovah, Allah, Khuda. You give as many names as you want. But the one name, which is the true name, which issues from him only, that is Om.
Ek Omkar.
Ek Omkar Satnam. So,
उसी का नाम सत्य है.
इसी का नाम सत्य है. So it emerges from that light, consciousness of light, this word. And from this word emerge other sounds. All the swaras, that is the vowels, all the consonants. And these swaras represent the energies. And these consonants represent the manifestation of this world. They are the Bij mantras. And that is how this world is born. So, from energy, conscious energy, you come down to sound, vibrations. From sound, first is light energy vibration, then sound energy vibration. From sound energy vibration, you come down to other levels. That is the mind, then nervous energy, then matter. Lowest is matter. That is why we talk of 7 C's. Sevenfold existence, that there are 7 stairs to that truth. Sevenfold existence, Sapta Sindhu, Sapta. Everywhere we bring in this 7 word because there are 7 planes of existence, broader plane. So when you are on the path to realizing yourself, enlightenment, you have to traverse now backwards. You are traveling back to the source. So it takes time. You have to modify, you have to purify. So you have to purify your body, you have to purify your emotions, you have to purify your thoughts, and then you open up. You liberate the soul which is caught up within the earth and the heaven of your mind, the physical consciousness and your mental consciousness. These are the 2 ends within which most people are trapped in this world. So you liberate the soul from these 2, and then in the beginning, when it is struggling, it is like the ashwas, the horses. They have to strain themselves. Once it is liberated, then it becomes the hamsa, the swan. That's why we say Paramahansa, becomes, because the swan doesn't have to struggle. It just has a smooth, soars smoothly. It just spreads its wings and soars in the sky. That is the last stage. So that's how the journey happens. But the purpose is not merger with the divine. As Guru Sahib also has said, the purpose is not merger with the divine. The purpose is to be one with the divine and to act in this world.
Right.
With the right consciousness. Right. Most people in this world act with partial consciousness, with sense mind consciousness, dualistic consciousness, which differentiates between mera tera, good and evil. Good and evil are also very relative terms. Evil is that which does not further my self-interest. Good is that which furthers my self-interest. What is evil for me may be good for you, and what is good for you may be evil for me. So the perspectives are different. And there is duality, there is fragmentation in the lower world, in the sense mind world. So when you are liberated from that, only then is your consciousness. Then you realize what Kabir says, Sahib mera ek hai, दूजा कहा न जाए, दूजा साहिब जो कहूँ, साहिब खड़ा रसाए. It is not just that Allah is one. The whole of creation is one. It is only one. That is why in Guru Granth Sahib Ji and Japji Sahib says, Karta Purkh. First he gives the name. He says, Ikum Kar Satna. Karta Purkh. He is the only doer in this world. Even the one who is you as the listener is also he. I as the speaker is also he. And they who as the audience are listening to us is also he. So the Ved says, Rig Ved says, the eater eating is being eaten. That is, the actor acting is being acted upon. That is, he alone is everywhere, there is no other. So if there is no other, then in Japji Sahib he moves on. And then he says, Nirpav, Nirvair. If there is no one else apart from me, the I in everyone, it is the same person. If there is no second person, then what is the need for bhai? Fear. Then what is the need for enmity? With whom should I be enemies? I alone, the self in me is the same self in you. Then who do I hate?
Well said.
And who do I feel afraid of? Do I feel afraid of my own self? It can't be. It is illogical. And that's where logic also comes. So people who say that logic does not apply to matters of faith, I think they are far off the mark.
Yes.
Logic has its limitations in different way. Not here. Logic has its limitation in terms of realizing that truth. It cannot realize that, but it can definitely explain it and corroborate it. So that is the part about which I am concerned.
Okay.
And my Guru says that this whole world is basically in the process of evolution, and man is not the last word, because in the process of evolution of life, man is the last stage, but he's not, he is only terminal stage. There is another individual who is going to get born, and that is the Superman. The Superman will be as superior to man as man is to the animal. The animal operates with instinct, the man operates with sense mind, but the Superman will operate with what is called divine consciousness. That will be. As a human being, we get intimations and intuitions of divine consciousness, but we are unable to hold on to it. We are unable to get anchored in that consciousness. So our goal now is to make the leap, so that this mind becomes a part of that mind, and this mind, sense mind, takes the directions from that divine consciousness. When you operate with divine consciousness, then this world becomes so beautiful. There is no pain in this world. There is no misery in this world. Whatever pain and misery in this world is, it is because we operate with limited consciousness, with partial consciousness, which distinguishes between me and the others. And it is a limited consciousness. The moment I operate with that divine consciousness, then I see myself in everyone. When I see myself in everyone, so who do I feel scared of? Who do I feel against? With whom should I have an enmity?
Well said. In fact, this brings me to the point that at this time, when we are facing a war, Third World War, there is a war going on between Russia and Ukraine, these thoughts are most relevant to the society. Isn't it?
Yes, certainly. And it also empowers you. The moment you have this feeling that this is what Sri Aurobindo said, the Son of God became the Son of Man. Now it is time for the Son of Man to become the Son of God. So when you become the Son of God and you have that divine consciousness, one, you bring in harmony and peace all around you. And because there is harmony and peace in your mind, there will be harmony and peace in the world around you.
Right.
Number two, because you have the divine consciousness, you also have its conscious force, its Shakti. So you are effective in action. Whatever you will do, it will not be half-hearted action.
Absolutely.
So there will be effectivity in action. You will not be an ineffectual hero like Don Quixote in Cervantes' novel by the same name, charging at the windmills thinking that they are the devils. So it empowers you, and you are always in bliss. So this journey, every individual, so when I am engaging in this world, in the business of this world, or anyone else is engaging in the business of this world, the purpose is to do karma yoga, kirtkar. Why kirtkar? Because you should, if you work with the right intention, with the right motive, you realize that it is me who is interacting with the me in the other person, then all that anger, ego, that ahankar, it will all go. And
all the five demons that our gurus have defined.
So when those demons will go away, then the world will be peaceful, beautiful. You will help. Instead of competing with individuals, you will collaborate with everyone, because it is you with whom you are collaborating. You collaborating with your own self in a different form. So world will become beautiful.
Absolutely. At what time did you feel that now the invisible part of your personality should come out? Because you kept it hidden for a long time.
It so happened that after I had, for 1 year, I was in deep spiritual mode, when I was totally internalized, and then I was completely under the control of that divine force, divine consciousness. I realized that it was taking me now completely away, and I was not sometimes even understanding what was happening, the kind of intimations. And this is surprisingly in the Ved. When I read the Rig Ved, Agastya says to Indra, please do not give me those intimations and intuitions of reality which my mind cannot understand. Measure them out.
Okay.
Because my mind must understand, and my vital must understand, my body must understand. All these are basically consciousnesses. So as long as my lower self does not understand what is the higher self, till then, go slow. That is exactly what I felt. And therefore I delinked. I stopped my journey. And then I wanted to restart it, but then it was the lower self trying to restart. Now it was not restarting. And interestingly enough, COVID came as a blessing in disguise.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say, never be scared of challenges, adversities in life. adversities sometimes come as blessings.
These are very important words, very important words.
All through my life, the periods of my greatest challenges and testing times have been the periods of my greatest discoveries and greatest triumphs. So when COVID came, I again felt vulnerable, defenseless. So again went in. And because I was looking for that foothold of permanence within me, and the ego self, it simply surrendered, it broke away, it shattered itself, it got shattered. The moment it got shattered, the inner self came up. And then it told me, it's time, now you followed me.
Bring out, yes.
You come out now in the open.
Yes.
Stop playing this hide and seek with me.
Right.
Follow
Yes.
me and do what I say.
Absolutely.
Your responsibilities are over. Your 2 sons are well settled. You are okay now. You have no responsibilities towards your immediate family. Now the responsibility is towards the wide world.
At this point, I want to tell the youngsters, always say, I can do it. Hashtag, I can do it. Never forget it.
Exactly.
And whatever you do it with conviction. And once you have conviction and faith and that true thing, because what happens is once you start thinking that I want to be a cricketer, the next moment you start doubting yourself. Never do that. And if you remember these words, you will never fail in life. You will always come out of the adversities. You will always realize your dreams and you will be a successful person.
May I intervene at this point?
Yes.
In Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Guru Sahib says, Man tu jyot saroop hai, apna mul pachan. So, if you are Jyot Saroop, manifestation of that light of consciousness, then what is beyond your reach? Is there anything beyond your reach? Is there anything beyond the reach of God? So why doubt?
Beautiful words.
The only thing is, it cannot be done just by saying. You have to identify. Hukum na jane bahuta roye. So understand his hukum. Whatever is happening in your life, understand the cues. He is giving you cues.
Yes.
In the beginning, he will not come directly in front of you. He will not take over your personality directly. In the beginning, he will only give you cues.
Right.
So understand, read the cues properly. Don't start fighting.
Right.
And then once you are identified with that, once you have realized that light of consciousness, Mantu Jyot Saroop, Apna Mul Pachan. Once you have recognized that, Pachan leta ho, fir te uste baad wahu hai.
These are the golden words from Guru Granth Sahib Ji.
Then
And so many more quotes.
Yeah. Guru Granth Sahib Ji is a fantastic book of life. It's a book of truth. It's the gospel truth.
Yes. One of my friends says that I think the best professor in my life is Professor Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So, thank you very much, Ravi. You have given us the pearls of wisdom, and I hope that the society takes it, the youngsters understand what we are talking about, and then they will always be successful in life. At this point in time, now I want to talk about IELTS. I've got several questions from viewers and I want to answer those questions now. Let me read those questions. One boy asked me, what does IELTS stands for? So I say this is International English Language Testing System. And what are the skills does it test? There are 4 skills, there are 4 segments you have to appear in IELTS. They are listening, writing, reading and speaking. And then which countries is it valid in 6,000? It is in 6,000 organizations in 135 countries, and to mention a few, New Zealand, Australia, UK, Canada, and so on. Then how many versions are there? There are two versions. One is academic and the other is general training. There's only one small difference, that is in the writing test. Academic is for those who are going to go to another country for higher studies, and general training is for those who are going to work. And can anyone take the exam? Yes, over 16 years of age. How long the test score is valid? It is valid for 2 years. And how long do you have to wait before taking the test again? Suppose you don't do well, you want to take the test again. You don't have to wait. You can immediately appear for the next time. Then how long do candidates have to wait for their results? 3 to 5 days if it's an online exam. But you, of course, you can take the other way also, that is the paper exams. And generally, what are the problems faced by the students? One is confidence. Lack of dedication is another problem. Time devoted to is the problem. Poor English or lack of language skills. Now here I want to tell you there are two types of people. One who do not know English, and even those who know English, but knowing English language does not guarantee you a good band in IELTS, because you have to understand what the test wants from you and how do you have to prepare for that. So lack of familiarity with the testing style also. We'll talk about all these things in our future episodes. Lack of ideas and lack of vocabulary. This is very important, and you have to improve your vocabulary, you have to improve your grammar. For vocabulary, I will only say one thing, that just start reading the English newspapers, just listen to the English programs on good channels like BBC and so on. And once you do that, pick up the questions, pick up the words, look up for their meanings and pronunciation, and then look up for the synonyms also. Because if you are writing an essay, you repeat that one word in that essay is not going to do good. You don't repeat that. Use synonyms in the paragraphs that you are using, or in the sentences you have to write again and again. So these are some of the things which are important for you to know. Another thing, you have to work on fluency and coherence, lexical resource, which means vocabulary, the words and all that, grammatical range and accuracy, and of course pronunciation. If you remember all this, look up for this video again, go through if you have not understood. You write down and you give me your questions again, and we'll clarify that, and then slowly we'll come to the actual test. But I am not going to give you a crash course. So if you start building your vocabulary, if you start acting on these points that I've told you, you cannot fail, and nobody can stop you. You will always get an excellent band, maybe 8.5. And if you do well in your IELTS exam, you might even get scholarship from some universities. So these are the benefits of doing well in IELTS. And with that, we come to an end. Thank you, Ravi,
Thank you
for
very
the
much.
wonderful words that you told us today, and will always remain indebted to you. And in the next episode, we'll talk about the books that you have written. I want to know about the books and the literature, because you started writing at some point in time poems when you were a student, and now you are carrying it forward by writing the books. And who prompted you to write those books, and how did you choose the subjects? We'll talk about in the next episode. Thank you, friends. And I request you once again to please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon and like the show. Thank you very much.